a major reformer.
Well, I'll let other people call me that. I don't want to, boast myself. They said that I endangered people and or countries. I find that ludicrous. One of the funny things is one of the people that was mentioned in my book, just by his first name, I didn't mention names of agents or anything like that, not to endanger people. And by way of deception, which is actually the motto of the Mossad, which is by way of deception, thou shalt do war. His name was Yossi. Today he is the head of Mossad. So really, I didn't appear that I even ruined anybody's career, and he's mentioned several times in my book.
Well, I know this. These intelligence agencies are basically all linking up together in the West to take our basic liberties and saying it's going to keep us safe, but we never get safer. It's just crazy. I want to get back into the short segment we have about other big topics you're looking at, other things you're concerned about in the world today with our guest, Victor Ostrowski. The website is thebookpatch.com, and he's published Trafficking. It's Traffi, capital King, Trafficking, and it's powerful information, folks, to understand the type of weird organized crime groups that infest government, corporations, intelligence agencies, and are all around us and have to be dealt with sunshine. Stay with us. Victor Ostrowski is our guest for 5-6 more minutes. Then Roger Stone, the Trump insider, that the New York Times is admitting is basically who they think is Trump's brain. No, he's not Trump's brain. Trump is his own brain. But we're going to be getting into the whole campaign, the latest on that coming up in a minute. Victor, I want to get you back up sometime just because I remember that interview, must have been 10 years ago, about your book, By Way of Deception, that I know is a bestseller. And a lot of the stuff in the book I knew, but a lot of it I didn't know. Pretty amazing stuff. I want to get you back to talk about that. But since then, what other interesting stuff's happened? What's most important, for a former insider to impart to the audience here today?
Well, I think the perception that we have about the war against terrorism, there's one point that I think is important to remember. There's basically two types of terrorist organizations. One is territorial, like the PLO used to be, the PFLPGC, the Hezbollah, the Hamas, on the other, and the Basques. On the other hand, there's usually ideological and terrorists, which are like the Red Army brigades, Badr Meinhof, and you would call Al Qaeda, it would be one of them as well. The new thing that we're finding is this ISIS or ISIL or Daesh, call it what you want. That's a combination. That's something new.
I would call it a conquest group, isn't it? I mean, they want territory, but they also want to take over.
Yeah, they have an ideology. So they're, on the one hand, they're ideological. On the other hand, they also took over territory, so they're territorial. So that's a new brand, and that attracts a lot of people. And the main danger of it is that there's no way that we know how to fight them. You take away their territory, they attack in a new place. There has to be a more concerted effort to bring the world together in order to fight them, because this is a global problem. They'll blow something up in Belgium, the next day it'll be in the US. They have no limitations. They don't play by the rules. And one of the major things is, in order to keep coalitions together, the people who fight against them have to keep by the rules and not be dragged into,
Sure, don't get lower to their level of torture and all the rest of it. I mean, aren't they really belligerent because they're backed in part by the Wahhabists in Saudi Arabia? I mean, isn't this kind of a proxy army?
It's very hard to say because, just like any other government or country,
factions.
Saudi Arabia especially is not a democracy. So, but they have fractions within them. Some support, some don't. There's a lot of money involved in the ability to support that. But really, if they stop support, a lot of times they support out of fear, because if they stop their support, that snake will turn on them. And I
get it. So it's keep your enemies close.
I beg your pardon?
Keep your enemies close.
Keep your enemies close, yes. And keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. But that's one problem. But the other problem is that there's really no real policy in foreign affairs that deals with it and has a guideline. Leading from behind on this aspect, basically I lean towards the left, but on this thing, you can't lead from behind. The world looks to the U.S. to lead them.
Sure. Don't you just, I don't like torturing people's families. I wouldn't be for that. I'm against torture. But what about prosecuting their families when their families can be proven to be aiding and abetting them? I mean, I never see their families getting in trouble when they're in England or France or wherever. They're going out to kill Christians and people in, non-Wahhabists in Syria or Libya. I mean, how about their families get arrested?
Well, the problem here with that is that there's proof that it doesn't work. Israel has been doing this for years. They catch a terrorist, they prove his guilt, they'll go and they'll demolish the family's house, which they lived in for generations.
That just makes more terrorists.
Yeah, it doesn't
So what do
work.
you do in 70 seconds? And we'll have you back, sir. I appreciate your time. Thebookpatch.com. I mean, you're an expert. What do we do then?
Well, you deal with it by the laws that you have. You don't give up freedoms. You don't give up freedom of speech. You don't curtail, the ability to express yourself. You stay the line. I mean, that's the whole secret of successful
Moral high ground? Moral high ground? Moral high ground?
Yeah, you take the moral high ground, but you fight. I mean, you don't stay out of the fight, but you fight it according to the rules and regulations that you want to be treated. And if the other side doesn't treat you that way, that doesn't mean you take them and you treat them differently. You just go and you look for new ways, new imaginative ways. And not
do you think ISIS is stronger now or weaker than it was 2 years ago?
I'm sorry.
You think ISIS is stronger or weaker now?
On the one hand, it's weaker because of lack of territory, that they got less territory. But every time they lose a soldier or they lose a combatant, they gain 2 or 3 that want to take its place because they're promised to the people that they're giving room in their group.
All right. I understand. We'll have you back. Victor, thank you. Powerful info. We got Roger Stone coming up. I'm Alex Jones. Stay with us. And we are back live. Roger Stone is getting on the line with us as we speak to break down the latest campaign news. They made a big deal out of this on CNN and MSNBC, making fun of Mr. Stone talking about Brain Force, which is one of the top nootropics out there, brain boosters, with a whole bunch of known organic compounds that boost brain activity naturally, unlike a lot of the other synthetic garbage and things that are out there. So I thought just for the interest of it, while we're getting Roger on the line, let's play a clip of this. And they played this very clip on Rachel Maddow's show, on Chris Hayes' show, and a bunch of others, acting like it's bizarre that we sell vitamins and minerals. I mean, this is one of the biggest industries in the country. Everybody knows it's amazing. Everybody knows what the things in Brain Force does. But again, they act like we're freaks, just like they're now acting like Democrats are bad because they want their votes for Bernie Sanders to count. So let's go ahead and go to that clip.
Alex, if in a couple weeks they tell you that I committed suicide because I was depressed, or if I get hit by a truck crossing the street,
Or struck by a bolt of lightning.
I tell you I was killed in a freak hunting accident, don't believe it. Hillary Clinton's the major perp, and she needs to be exposed. I'm in perfectly good health. I'm in a great mood. I am working 18-hour days. I'm gonna be honest with you. I wouldn't make it without Brain Force. I went online, I bought some Brain Force. I pop those in the morning, I pop those at night, and I get 4 or 5 more hours of work. So
I didn't know that was coming. I know you got more interviews coming up, but Roger Stone, 70-second break. Her with Gary Haven, Marigeddon, the new movie. Come back 70 seconds. Finish up the lavish plug for Brain Force. And that's right-wing wash. And they played that on TV, on these shows, like we're bad. This is what they're coming up with. But seriously, getting down to earth on this, I didn't plug enough last hour talking about these reactors that blow up and melt down, bigger than Chernobyl or as big as Chernobyl, in the middle of L.A., and they don't even tell people this is going on, and it's barely even news on NBC News back in the 50s, and there's been other stuff like that. Folks are insane if they're not drinking purified water. And yes, we sell the best water filtration systems that are gravity-fed that cut all the garbage out. Promo code WATER, you get 10% off. Yes, we sell the true nascent pure iodine that no one else has. I guess folks are too lazy or too dumb to do it, but whatever. That actually is absorbable by the body and has changed my life. And it's 20% off because I'm going to do a big push for X2. If you haven't tried it, if you haven't used it, if you hear me talk about this and you're like, whatever, there's only a fraction of our listeners actually buy the X2 or the DNA Force or the Brain Force. These are amazing products. I mean, I felt Survival Shield within days more energy. About 3 weeks later, I kind of had 4 or 5 days where I felt sick, as Dr. Grip predicted, because the detoxification accelerated. But then after that, amazing. My stamina, my aggression, my libido, it's amazing. Now, Super Male Vitality is sold out right now, so is Super Female, but Anthroplex is basically the dry version of it. It's also organic, but it's dry herbs, not as absorbable as liquid or cold press, but still an excellent formula and half the price. It works very well. It has a few herbs in it that aren't in the other products that really is a foundation for Super Male or Super Female Vitality, and you just stack it together. You can sign up and get free shipping on orders of $50 or more. No, it's $50 or more is free shipping. You sign up for auto shipping and get free shipping, or no, 10% off. Again, folks, I am teleprompter free here as always. We got so many specials. Who can keep track of them? 10% off when you sign up for auto ship, and you can get free shipping on $50 or more, and it's 20% off on Survival Shield, Nascent Iodine X2 right now. Try Anthroplex. Try Secret 12. It's the best methylcobalamin and vitamin B12 out there. Try Knockout. 9 different known compounds at the normal dose. Like, it's $19 for melatonin at this dose, the same amount, but they add filler. There's no filler in Knockout. It's melatonin, L-tryptophan, the valerian root, and a bunch of other stuff known. 1 pill helps me sleep if I need help. 2 pills knocks me out. But, of course, consult a physician. It's all generally seen as safe, and FDA, GRAS. That means stuff that they call, a safe vitamin or a mineral or a supplement. We only sell stuff that's recognized as safe. But I still say consult your physician before you walk out the door in the morning, before you breathe air, before you kiss a girl, because, the government loves you and they're God. And if MSNBC says you don't need any vitamins, they're absolutely correct. And I believe them because, look, Chris Hayes doesn't take any vitamins, and he can still play his part and Rachel Maddow every day hosting 2 major TV shows. That's the big secret. They are one person. And it's amazing to know that. It's just incredible to know that the First Lady is really, is a man, is a tranny, Michelle Obama. It's incredible to know that Rachel Maddow is Chris Hayes. I'm trolling you. I don't really think that, though on the whole thing with the First Lady, something weird's going on there. But seriously, I'm just having some fun. Your audiences are so small now. You're so sad. Everybody's tuning out. Roger Stone doesn't care that you've blackballed him and banned him on CNN and all these other channels because you guys are a joke. And so thank God that so many of these Republicans they invited to meet with Zuckerberg said no. They said, I'd be discredited going to that like some prop for Zuckerberg. Think how far we've come. We knew there was censorship by Google and Facebook. Now it's all admitted. Now it's the front page of the newspapers. Drudge and others forced it out. This whole Trump campaign has forced a debate, shown the censorship, shown the manipulation. It's very, very exciting. Now, joining us via video Skype is the one, the only Roger Stone of StoneZone.com. And his best-selling book on the Clintons' war on women is really the handbook now, really showing what monsters they are. But instead, they've got cover stories about Trump has asked women out on dates in between marriages. It's so horrible. But he's got more inside baseball in this new great pollster that he was recommending 6 months ago I get on, and I didn't. I want to get him on now. It just fell through the cracks. Who's a libertarian. That's exciting. And other things that are happening and going on. Is Priebus finally being good? Is Priebus finally not trying to get a third party? Is he telling the truth? So all things 2016, all things Trump with Roger Stone. Roger, thank you so much, my friend.
Alex, great to be back with you.
Wow, where should we start?
Well, let's start with the Trump campaign's new pollster, Tony Fabrizio. Tony Fabrizio is someone I have literally known since my early 20s. He may be the most talented and gifted, but most importantly, the most combative strategist and survey researcher in the Republican Party. The truth is, Tony Fabrizio is far more than a pollster. A pollster is just a guy who takes samples of public opinion. Fabrizio has an uncanny ability to fashion that into a strategy. He's a very aggressive, in-your-face street fighter. He's perfect for the campaign to take down the Clintons. Donald Trump spoke to Fabrizio 3 years ago when he was briefly considering running for president then. This is a major